Guys, this episode is brought to you by My Journey Solutions and the Creating Healthy Boundaries course. So, if you have been struggling with saying no, if you've been struggling with feeling like you're burnt out, or you're always the one giving and never being given or poured into, this is the course for you. It's short, sweet, simple, and actionable. You guys know how I get down. Check out the show notes and let's do it. All right. Let's talk about Sunday night. Can we talk about Sunday night for just a second? Sunday night, I was watching the Super Bowl. Yeah, I watched the game too. Like, I was there for the game, and then I was like, oh, Rihanna's performing. Cool. And who doesn't, at this point in time, who doesn't enjoy watching it, jumping on social media, chatting with people who are also watching it and discussing it? So that's what I was doing, like watching it and interacting on social media, being social on social media. And I was completely astounded. I was excited. I was like, yes, it's a solo performance. Yes, Black girl magic. Yes, woman power. Like, there were so many things that made me so excited about Rihanna's performance on Sunday. Yeah, that was Sunday. But then when I hopped on social media and I see all these people talking about what it should have been, talking about how they were disappointed, it made me sad at first. And then it kind of made me angry. So in typical, I will not claim being a millennial. Let's just say I will not claim being a millennial, because growing up, we were always told that we were Generation X, and then they switched up the years on us, but I digress. So typical 21st century fashion, I hop on TikTok and do a little mini rant. Y'all, apparently it resonated with a lot of people, and I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch, comment, like, because it really did help me realize that we can say something out of our mouth, but if our actions don't line up with it, it does give this dissonance, and I'm not the only one who sees the dissonance. So if you haven't seen the rant, hop on over to TikTok. I'll leave my little TikTok name. I'll leave my little TikTok name in the show notes as well. But from that discussion on TikTok, from the conversations there, both online and off, it led me to really think about the burden of people pleasing and how easy it is to maneuver our way over to people pleasing and not even realize that that's what we're doing. So let's define people pleasing in the context that I'm using it. Wanting to make others happy with your actions, wanting the approval of someone else for your actions, for your decisions, for your behavior. This is the context that I'm talking about, people pleasing. So, measuring up to other people's wants and desires, making others comfortable at your expense or at the expense of your peace, at the expense of your satisfaction. And let me be clear, I'm talking about people pleasing beyond, a healthy compromise. I'm not talking about, okay, there are two opinions and we have to move forward, so everybody's got to give a little. I'm literally talking about, I am been working 50 hours this week, and maybe my cousins from out of town are saying, hey, we're going to come through and I'm going to bring some friends with me, and I know it's last minute. I just appreciate you. When you didn't ask me to, you have an expectation that I have not consented to, and it's a whole list of things. But if you go along with it without setting that boundary, if you continue to let them do that, I consider that people pleasing. Say you have coworkers who want the benefit of what you provide. Yes, it's your job. Yes, you have to meet your expectations of your job. But when, say, a meeting request is thrown at you super last minute and it becomes a habit, and you're so accustomed to, well, I want them to think this of me. I want them to know I'm capable. I want them to think I'm agreeable. And those aren't usually the words we use in our head, but things along that context. That is when we fall into people pleasing. So let's just talk about some of the things that we lose, or what the burdens of people pleasing could be. Loss of self. If we're always worried about someone else having a good opinion of us, we lose the grounding in what our opinion of good, or our opinion of value is, right? Loss of the ability to experience fulfillment. How are you fulfilled? How are you satisfied if you're only thinking about the other person's perception? If you're only thinking about outward perception? Because sometimes it's not about one person. Sometimes it's about how I want society to view me, or how I want the workforce to view me, or how I want family to view me. We begin to devalue ourselves and who we were created to be. Keeping up with the Joneses, pleasing the Joneses, when what's on the outside is always right or better, we're subconsciously telling ourselves that what I am, how I show up, who I am is not good. So if we're never affirming ourselves and our position, what's the natural conclusion? What's the logical conclusion? Next, it increases worry and doubt. It increases that overthinking, that negative overthinking. Yes, we want to be solution seekers, and we want to always find a way through whatever obstacle we face, but constantly worrying. How will I be perceived? Will my actions make them want to choose me again? Will my actions make them think that I'm enough? Will I show up as my best self? I can't let anyone see a flaw. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But this type of people pleasing would keep us from doing what Rihanna did on Sunday. She showed up as her best self. She showed up confident in who she is and the body of work that she has created. She did not justify. And that's the part I really like. She was genuinely her, and she didn't feel the need to justify who she was, why she made the decisions that she made. Sis didn't even say, well, I'm pregnant, so no. She was in full pregnancy, touch of the belly here, touch of the belly there. And then she capitalized with a birth announcement with People magazine. Like, I'm going to do it my way, and I'm okay doing it my way. That's what I really, really loved about Sunday. All of the naysayers, all of the people who maybe her performance was not for, she really, really, really connected with her audience. She connected with her crowd. For the people who are in alignment with where she is, with her products, with the way that she advertises. Sis was genuinely her. And I am just in awe, if you can't tell. All right, so here are 3 things we're going to ask ourselves when we feel like we may be people pleasing. When we get ready to make a decision, when we get ready to choose which path to go down. Ask yourself, who am I trying to please with this action, this behavior, or this decision? Am I trying to please myself? Is this in alignment with my values, right? Because for us God girls, those of us who are believers in Christ, we know that it's not just about self, but part of our self is in God. You know, God, we are in God. We're in alignment with God. We want to walk in His will. So is this in alignment with my values? And 3, what decision or action creates or helps me maintain my peace? What decision or action either creates peace or helps me remain in alignment with my peace? Those are the 3 questions. Who am I trying to please with this action? Is this in alignment with my values? And what decision or action will create or maintain my peace? Think about being your genuine self. Think about showing up as you, your authentic self, because there is somebody out there who you resonate with and nobody else will. There is someone out there, not that you're pleasing them, but you're setting a standard for them to walk into their authenticity as well. All right, guys, that's the end of this podcast. Make sure you check those show notes and follow me on TikTok because we have a good time over there.